left side of the trees all the time. And then he was kind of going back and then going for the rune. But if I see him all the time, I can, you know, play around that. I can just dodge the Magnus kind of. And yeah, it's one potential reason like why the Andromeda is so powerful.
Let's hope this one does skill into the Aurora.
And they actually
And
are swapping lanes. I think that is the correct choice because I don't think you want to run a trial lane against a dual lane, and it might actually be a dual middle. What I personally would do is send Andromeda Kraken in the mid lane, Valkyrie solo top, suffer Valkyrie game, sure, but then block the pool. And this is something that I don't think I see.
it may still be open. What you got hasn't bought items yet. We know he's one of the most versatile players. It's not uncommon for him to just up and move to the enemy jungle to start jungling there if it's more beneficial to his teammate. We'll have to see.
I think he's going for a bottle. Level 1.
So now this seems a lot nicer. It's Kraken.
Yeah. So now suddenly you only have like one target that is that's suffering, and also the Kraken being a strength hero.
Nice double stun, by the way, in mid lane. They lead into the Comet in a 3-second arrow, trying to get the body blocks off. Very close.
And Kraken taking some pressure as well. But the problem of this is, of course, well, Chi jungle is very vulnerable to bullying, as we see Full Cap bully.
That's exactly what's happening if Magnus isn't needed there. And we saw that last game. He started in the tri lane, but they gave it up pretty quick.
And then the Magnus with boots is like really free to move. And in this case, like then the Andromeda and the Valkyrie is a lot better. And oh, they're diving in the mid lane, but Magnus is there to maybe save the day.
They are very aggressive on this Torturer.
Yeah, it's
like they're gonna pay for that.
Yeah, that is a bit too aggressive without any kind of good vision, because they have one ward near the bottom lane. Sorry, no, that is from the other side. Sorry, they have one ward near the top lane, and that is currently it as far as I'm aware. No other wards. And they should have known that the Magnus was missing, right? The Magnus, Beans saw the Magnus. Beans did actually indeed pick up the bottle and pick up the health potion. And yeah, like the Magnus is gonna have to be somewhere. He's not just picking his nose. He's not going back to base and sitting there. He's gonna, of course, be maybe roaming middle, and that is exactly why you buy wards.
And it's definitely something that they should be aware of. I have a quick question. I know he said it was 5 melees, but what's the uptime? I probably should know this on like Shadowblade being a ranged hero.
Full.
He can be up all the time.
So Shadowblade, I think the duration is 15 seconds and the cooldown is 10 seconds or something.
Okay.
The cooldown is actually quite significant there because the stun only works on like your first attack. But the stun only works in the first 5 seconds of you entering shadow form, for lack of a better word. It's int form, soul sight, whatever. So you used to be like able to stack stuns back in the day by just going into intelligence form, waiting 10 seconds, then attacking, and then
top lane jumping onto Kraken. It's got the tsunami charge. Mid lane arrow connects. Call the Valkyries enough.
Yeah, and that is the moment the Magnus leaves, then the Torture is just food for them, because Torture is like really squishy here early on. I think it has one of the lower strength both gains and starts of like most any mid hero that's being played basically. So yeah, that is definitely like an easy picking for
Candy's bottle on the ground in mid lane. Can you still steal enemy items?
No, of course not. No. Okay, so the way it works is if it has someone's name above it, you cannot steal it.
Okay.
So an eye you can sometimes pick up because it has like, it doesn't have a name attached to it. It's like blank.
Rune control here. Trying to be established. Looks like Magnus picked it up though. At least the bounty.
Yeah, he just picked up the refresh rune that was. So Magma's bullying the Chi here. Chi is not gonna get a proper jungle of. And that is like the weakness of... Oh, Chronos stealing the double damage rune.
Ooh.
And
He's got
Torture.
boots. He's gonna
Yeah.
try to chase this down. Torture does not even have impalement to kind of scare him off. He's got that coming up in one more second. The dash is just enough. Oh, careful though. He's dead. No. Andrew taking
Yeah.
that last hit.
And at that point, you just have to pray for... And I think he's gonna deny himself to creeps. But...
Uh-oh. Geo. Dun,
It takes a while! The buckler!
He was like, the greed. Should I kill one and let two kill me? Oh, shit.
He actually didn't kill it specifically.
Yeah,
because he wanted
did.
to die faster, but he kept rewinding. Oh, that is funny, actually. The rewind killing him there.
And he just used all his RNG. He's never going to rewind the rest of the game now.
Yeah. Bloody pseudo RNG.
I wanted to point something out real quick, though. Like, who you would expect Chronos to be a priority in this game with farm, right? But the way they lane this in their jungle, not only is their jungle suffering, he's not doing great at all against Meraxis, who's got nearly twice his farm, by the way. As for that jungler, he's going to go down.
Yeah. Like, they're just not able to protect their jungler at all. These kind of lineups, they work well when you know, like, the enemy has a weak early game or something. They just like it.
Level 6 in the area. They get the double stun on the Kraken of all targets, though. He's going to survive for a little bit, and the Valkyrie Prism, unfortunately, not enough to keep him alive. They trade a mag, though, so...
That is a no ultimate Shadow Blade. Maybe he just leveled up and wanted the burst or something? I guess.
Possibly.
I mean...
My knowledge of the hero is minimal.
So yeah, the ultimate gives you like 20% of someone's primary target stats as stats at that point. So basically, usually level 1 ultimate at level 6 gives you 9 to 12, 13 agility or strength or whatever. So the question is, do you at this point want, well, what is it, 50 damage or 13 agility? I'd say the answer is almost always 13 agility or 13 strength if you're under pressure. Maybe he misskilled, it could be possible. Like, yeah, the agility is just, it's both attack speed. Yeah.
Attributes are nice.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right about Chronos. Chronos is suffering a bit. Chronos also, very interestingly, choosing to not max the leap, but max the Curse of Ages instead. And they might actually choose to go on him here. I don't really think... I don't see them kill the Chronos that easily. And Meraxis actually choosing to pick up the Nihil Crystal. I don't think I've seen anyone. Okay, so what it does, it gives you passive mana regen a little bit, about the same as Ring of the Teacher. Oh, mid lane.
There is teleports coming in here. Valkyrie with a haste rune. Holding back. You know he's deadly with these arrows, but... see, we can't pull. It's these little minions in the area. Kind of ruined that surprise attack for him.
There's a rune, a double damage rune for the Torture, who... Wait, does he... Okay, I'm guessing his bottle is being delivered right now, because otherwise I don't see why they would, like, just leave that rune right there. But yeah, okay, double damage rune, Torture, not that dangerous. They do have a lot of triple stacks, as she might actually be interested in taking them here. Yeah, like, she can take stacks really fast, but the problem with, like, these kinds of jungle heroes...
Bottom here. There's a little bit of a fight brewing.
Yeah, it's a dead Andro.
Surge onto the Andromeda. That was nice of her, because they were going to kill Chronos.
Can they, though? Chronos is tanky.
I mean, maybe... to be honest, like, not only did he not skill into time leave, I've seen him have been using it. You know, the cooldown is quite long. And
yeah. This is one of the reasons why I do actually think you should be scaling your Q, because the cooldown decreases from 14 seconds to 11 seconds. So, lower cooldown on a leap ability like that is very impactful. But yeah, sorry, the Nihil Crystal. So it gives you passive mana regen a little bit. I think that is partially the reason why he bought it.
Top lane.
Sorry, yeah, top lane.
Yeah. Bringing in. Chronos just poured it in at the tier 2, but he's got...
Big Juman's ultimate. He missed!
Oh no. But he dives into it, knowing he was going to die either way.
I think, yeah, he just tried to go for the counter kill and actually W'd the Chronos, but Chronos, I have to admit, that was a good play by him. After missing the Chronos field, he actually leaps back into the Chronos field, so the Shadowblade just chases him there. Yeah, but going back to the Chronos, I think it's relatively weak to max the E. I mean, yes, it's great that you, like, bash more often, the bash does more damage, but I think the Q is just too powerful to skip.
Right.
Generally speaking. Maybe get like 2 points in the E and then max the Q, but 4 points in the E is a bit on the I don't know, it's greedy I guess side. But sorry,
things. You're laning against Zane, who's used to going against 3 players. He's really good in a face-to-face matchup, and Miraxis is a lot more fun to play than Chronos in a 1v1 matchup. So Kraken's getting ganked at top lane. So I want to say maybe he skilled into that curse just to kind of compete with Miraxis, because Miraxis can bully you.
Yeah, but Miraxis doesn't actually need to trade auto attacks to bully you. Miraxis just that's Dead Sheen. That is not a Dead Sheen.
Bottom lane,
that
Chronos.
Chronos
skills Zane. Zane uses his ultimate combined with that magic shield to stop the comet stun and kill them.
Yeah, that is like once the Miraxis shield procs, Miraxis becomes so powerful because he gets like a bonus damage to all his damage dealt once the shield procs, and level 1 shield gives you 15% bonus damage now. 15% bonus damage to everything you do, that is a lot. That is a lot of damage on top of the already high damage that Miraxis does.
Andromeda in the bottom lane. Susceptible here again. Geomancer's right on top of him. He leads in with the Earth Grasp. Miraxis landing every hatchet. Andromeda, though, gets stopped. They do not have Revelation here. That is a Hellborn ward.
And that is the power of the Valkyrie there.
Yep, top lane, though. Shadowblade left to fend for himself for a little bit too long. They're more than happy to use the Kraken ultimate and punish him.
They went in back bottom. They're still interested in going, but Andro being super low and the Geomancer being nearby kind of forces them back there. Beans might die here if he goes for this rune.
Leads in with that.
And
Desk gets lava surged and locked down here.
Can I just say that this is a prime example of why Wind Whistle is an amazing item. The only reason that like Volka was able to catch Chi there was because he was just slightly faster. And you don't need to be insanely fast. You just need to be slightly faster than enemies. And they're going in.
Yep. Nice. Calculated onto the Kraken, and Valkyrie trying to help a little bit too long. Does get a nice leap off in a bottle sip. But
having no mana for a stun right now, even with the battery.
The battery, it's just not enough. Give him a bottle sip. What a bro.
Yeah, sharing is caring, eh?
If only if you could just like pour it in his mouth without asking.
Yeah, if only. Just pop the bottle on the allies. I mean, with Soul Trap and Dreamcatch you can these days. But yeah, so against the Miraxis, Miraxis can just spam the axes on you without ever needing to trade an auto attack. So I don't even see.
He's not doing so hot right now, but luckily Valkyrie and Chi has found a little bit of farm in this game, so don't want to cut him out yet, even though there's a 6,000 gold lead. Yeah, initiation onto the
PK Miraxis.
Maybe the Chronos. It's a suicide Chronos. I mean, if I'm dozy right now, that's what I'm saying, guys. What did you expect? Suicide Chronos.
Well, Suicide Chronos, yes, no. I mean, it's a Chronos in a 1v1 situation.
I know. I'm just trying to say he's doing a lot worse than they might have guessed. In the mid lane, Valkyrie gonna mid leap, get lava surged.
That's what we call next level copium, I guess.
The superior Lava Surge versus Leap. She stopped in her tracks, even though he's underground and she's in the air. I don't know. Zane's going to come in. He got that flashy new portal key on Chi, but not overcommitting yet. Instead, turns his attention over here onto Kraken. A nice collapse, and team stays together on the left side. In the meantime, Shadowblade jumps in. Andro's going to swap Chi. I believe Kronos, though, just blinks in. No ulti used there, and he's going to go down.
And Chi being very much in the front line right now. Not being very tanky, meaning he will just fall.
Yep,
and
Chi's gonna disappear.
I don't know where Shadowblade was when he got collapsed on, but yeah, Shadowblade is currently still on agility form. Only 7 agility on his ultimate, meaning that he isn't very tanky. He actually does choose to max the Q. That is very interesting. Generally speaking, the meta kind of became, because they nerfed the strength form from the Shadowblade, they buffed the intelligence form from the Shadowblade. So the meta would be 1 level in Q, then max E and W. And that would just be the build on the Shadowblade, right? It used to be like max in the Q and just go strength until you could switch to agility. But interestingly, Imba actually does choose to put some levels in the Q. And I think that is partially because of the heroes that the Hellborn has, specifically like the Chi. Who has a lot of burst damage, which you can negate with the strength form.
And start pushing here.
So yeah, and the Kronos field. If you get your Q off, suddenly you're a lot tankier. But yeah, they might actually collapse bottom, eh? You're definitely thinking about it.
Hellborn's trying to set something up here. They're in a big deficit. Immediately opening on the Imba Boy, but look at that. Zane eats the arrow and Arcane shields it, only growing his power. Kronos explodes, and the rest of the Hellborn team trying to put a target down here. Magma's brand new portal key hasn't used the eruption yet. If Hellborn team gets out of this, it's very fortunate.
They are dusted.
Zane collapsing on Chi.
Yeah, and I think actually, not in this team fight, but in the previous team fight, the Shadowblade got 2 hits off on the Kronos before the Shadowblade died. So I think the reason why he didn't get his Kronos field off last team fight was because of the low mana he has. He doesn't have enough mana for that, plus he has no battery. And yeah, this team fight, it was actually just really well played by Zane. Not even using his PK, I believe, but just walking into the arrow. Knowing that his Arcane Shield can actually soak up any projectile as they're going in the bottom lane.
Yeah, he's just gonna make quick work of that Kraken. Not afraid to drop this low. He's just got the Chalice if he needs to, but trading back and forth.
And again, he eats the arrow.
Yeah. This is, you know, the rare chance that Zane gets to get all of the farm and go and do everything he wants. Gets a snowball on heroes, and it's just paying off. They throw a couple kills the Hellborn team's way.
Yeah, and those are impactful kills. That's like 2 kills on a Kronos who was previously, I don't know, 180 TPM or something like that. Suddenly, well, that's a Kronos who is still not very farmed, but at least a little bit more farmed.
He really has such little impact in the game. It's often that we see Kronos, you know, he said his trailing presence isn't that great. But back in the day, even just a dual lane to make sure that he just gets to free farm.
Yeah, Kronos has always been this one of the hardest carries, because of that Chrono field and the bash. Bash just like he just gets a passive basher, and actually setting up on the Andromeda there, and that's that Andromeda. The Geomancer ultimate on top, and yeah, nothing you can do about that. Zane is just flexing his PK in their faces right now. Valkalt.
There's just I'm noticing here, Hellborn, you know, the way that they usually play is they wait for Satellidium to get online from mid with his PK or whatever and take initiations, and, you know, they control the pace, they control what's happening. They're playing very reactively, and it seems like they're not used to it, or it's just, I mean, you could see them, they're running away here. Do they fight? But how would they even start a fight?
Well, yeah, that is the weakness of the draft, I guess. They try to do it with the Chrono Field, and they are actually quite reliant on the arrow to set up these initiations. But
Swap
as
into
we
the
just
arrow
saw,
there.
it got countered like 2 times because of the Mirax's shield. So if you can't rely on the arrow to like be the follow-up for any gank, then what do you really do here as the Hellborn? And that's indeed just wait for the PK on the Kraken.
I think it starts with some vision. Slaska gets a ward down here. You know, maybe like a Andro swap into the arrow on anybody but Miraxis.
That is a value rev ward, actually. Getting not 1 but 2 wards of sight there. I don't think he even actually saw the other one, but they are trying to set up some plays, right? We see the Chronos like smoking in the bottom lane. I think I would like for one of the Hellborn to just go farm the Legion's jungle. And it's difficult because the Worm, the Geomancer, they can always spot you out from like 2k range or whatever it is. And that's the power of the dig ability, but I think you still have to just take that risk and, you know, soak that farm, because otherwise the other team is just gonna, you know, choke you out of the game. Just gonna put up the pressure and make sure that you cannot get any farm. And that's exactly what we see Beans do actually here. He's just soaking the entire enemy jungle. While the Legion team here is kind of everyone, 5 people sitting behind the Shadowblade here, just as he farms.
It's very interesting, and if this were to go super late, mine went bottom lane. Geomancer dropped his ultimate, doesn't really get much accomplished. Miraxis just did, oh, he caught the Kraken. Thought maybe he got the TP off. Sat goes down. He was probably a millisecond away from TPing out of there.
Yeah, and he had the choice between stunning the Chronos there and stunning the Kraken, and he actually chose to... I mean, at that point it's not really a choice. It's usually just more of like an instinct, right? He just jumps on someone who's TPing. I actually do think that it is the correct choice to jump the Kraken there, because I actually think Kraken had his PK before he died. But right now he just needs the 100 gold, and that PK, that is impactful, because it is the initiation. Let's go middle.
Yeah, Valkyrie getting saved by the Andromeda, but he channels that eruption. They still get the Andro, but
Andro sadly not getting a stun off, because with the stun from the Andro, I think they could have definitely maybe got the counter kill on the Magmas at the very least, because the Torture does have... oh no, he used the tablet to initiate, so he doesn't have the tablet to save the Magmas there. But yeah, it's just, you know, you swap to save your carry. But yeah, it's not looking too great, and I think this is partially due to the draft of the Hellborn side here. The jungle being really exposed right now.
It's
it hurts
so weird to look at this gold lead right now. It doesn't feel like that dominant of a game, but the charts tell a different story. I guess it's because we haven't really seen a big team fight in a while, but...
yeah, and also because, like, Shadowblade has 600 GPM, actually, which is impressive, to say the least. Unlike in hero like Shadowblade, which doesn't really have a farming ability, but... they got top, actually, and they're porting. They are 5 people top lane now. Torture is stalling.
Yes, he is, for a long time with that haste rune. It's buying enough time. Geo gets in, cleans up on the Chi.
Do they have Dust?
The rest of the Legion team arrives. Sat's going to try to get out. Dust activated. Not able to get in range. Will Chronos pull it off? Nope, the dig connects. Doesn't have anything for 5 seconds. Could be in trouble here.
Mana.
Fortunately, my boy still didn't get his Elder Parasite. There it goes. Just gets it delivered. They could have helped for a couple of lucky bash lifesteals there, but...
yeah, but the Shadowblade currently has like an insane amount of damage that he can put out if he doesn't get bursted down. And we actually saw like the mid lane fights where he just gets bursted down because he only has like 1300 HP. It's fine, right? It's not a late game, you're still winning the team fights, but I think that is partially why it feels closer than it actually is. The moment like the Shadowblade gets a little bit more items, like either I think it's going to be a Geobane and a Shrunken probably. Then like suddenly Shadowblade like doubles the amount of HP that he has, and then you cannot burst him down anymore. And like, it's not like the Legion side, or so the Hellborn side really has the tools to deal with like a 600 GPM Shadowblade right now. And Kronos picked up an Elder Parasite, which means he's just gonna die faster.
Yeah,
And
it's a desperation build, but
yeah, still no battery or chalice or whatever. Meaning that actually, if he jumps in, I think if he just gets hit once by the Shadowblade, he won't have enough mana for his ultimate.
Set's on high alert here, but he's got to watch out. The one thing about Geomancer, that blink stun, it's one that you can't react to, right? I mean, if you see him digging, right? But once he's on you, it's too late. With other heroes, even a tiny blink's on you, you got a split second to blink away.
Yeah, it's one of the powers
Kraken's
of the Geomancer.
Yep. Kraken's being a little bit bold here. Let's see what happens. He's going to come in, misses the charge, but they do get the arrow onto Geo, and that might have been the ideal target, at least what they were planning. The rest of their team immediately dies. It's a wipeout completely there.
I think, I don't know if they're going to play this out, but if anything, that was, yeah, just like the last nail in the coffin there. And there you see how much damage the Shadowblade can actually put out. The Kronos actually ultimating, I believe, like half of his own team there. I don't know how experienced it also is on the on the Kronos. I don't think I've seen him play it that much. I don't think he.
In a situation like that, it's very difficult. But you also like, he's a Kronos, lowest level, you know, compared to the enemy team. It's not like he can free somebody and kill anything. You know what I mean? Like, so he was like, I might be able to finish this kill. I think that's the mindset they're in. It's just they 25,000.
Absolutely right. And I think also like because of his low mana situation, he cannot take the risks because like 1-2 stuns, 1 hit, and he's dead. He's just really squishy right now. Yeah. Oh, good tablet.
I mean, could something happen here? It just looks like Shadowblade is just free raining down insane auto attacks. Everybody's just, they're on the back leg. They had to give it their best shot because it was game 2 of 3, but slowly dismantled by this strategy.
I mean, I can respect that.